Hello everyone, welcome back to when Saturdays come with me, Driver Eye. It's been a busy old week, hasn't it? Crikey me. Hanel going out and Kiefer Moore signing for Wrexham as well. Ollie McBurney signing for Hull City, Rhian signing for Derby County. So it's been a lot of activity in the transfer market. It's going to start getting busier and busier up to the next few weeks. I know the Blades are looking at a couple of players, certainly centre backs. It's presser day for Gerard Struber at Bristol City and Ruben Sayers for the Blades. Ruben Sayers had a bit to say on the transfers and the injury front. I'll not spoil it all for you. You can watch the video in its entirety. Did say Jacko were training this week. Obviously, the three missing are obviously Ollie, Davies and Shax. Gerard Struber, he's got a few injury problems as well for Bristol City. So he's had quite a bit to say. He had a lot to say. I had to edit it down because he had gone on and on and on. I think his presser lasted about 18-20 minutes. But I've edited it down to about 8 or 9. So you'll be able to hear what he has to say as well. So we've got contracting differences between the two managers. I'll put one. Campbell did an interview as well today. Tyrese Campbell. I'll put that on as well, so you can watch that one at your leisure. So thank you as always for watching. I think there's obviously irons in fire. I've always said it. We're looking for a couple of centre backs, probably a right winger as well. And so we'll be. I don't think anybody will be coming in tomorrow. I'll be surprised if they do. Excuse me. But I hopefully. We'll get a couple more bodies on. Ruben says he's saying we're not really light, but we as fans we think we are. So I think we're too short at the back, and we desperately need quality in that positions to strengthen the squad. And if we can do that, we'll have a reasonably good squad to give it a challenge, and give it a go in the Championship starting on Saturday evening. Let's hope we can get a win and get the ball rolling and get off to a flyer against Bristol City. So thanks for watching. As always, I really, really appreciate it. Channel's doing great. The subscribers count's going up on a daily basis. So we thank you for all of you for your comments and your subscribing. Please do that. I really appreciate it. And I'll put the 3 interviews on after my little bit here. Ruben Sayers, Tyrese Campbell, and then Gerard Struber at the end. So thanks for watching. I'll give you an update if anything else comes out tomorrow. I don't think anything will be. You never know. It's fast moving it's a very quick market nowadays. Things can happen inside 24 hours, can't it? So thanks for watching. Really appreciate it. And I'll do an update again after the match against Bristol City. Let's hope it's 3 points for the Blades. See you soon.
New season, excited to get going?
Hi Adam. Yes, really excited. I think that's the biggest part of this job, is just to play football matches and to play competitive football matches. Has been a good time so far, but now we are looking forward to start our first game at home with our fans and hopefully to put a good performance together.
I imagine for you're just interested now to see how all that work's going to look on the pitch. You've come in, you're looking to play a different way. You've had all your pre-season games. Now it's about testing all that work, isn't it, and seeing what's landed with people.
Yes, I think the way that we work in the pre-season is just to maximize what we can do and the way that we want to play the game. And that's what we have been doing. So it's very good to have those 5 weeks with the boys. And now it's about how much can we carry from the pre-season, from the style that we want to play, from the identity that we are building, into a competitive game when you need to play for 3 points, where the psychological part is bigger and the emotional part is also bigger. But the game of football should be exactly the same. So it's about that is always a challenge in the first game or games of the season.
Are you pleased with the games that you've had, the opposition that you've played against, that they've given you enough to look at your players and work out, who you're going to go with, how things are going to look before the Championship starts?
Yes, I think we prepare. Some of the preparation matches were already agreed before I arrived, and it was the first part. And then I was keen to have a very good opposition, especially at the end, because I wanted different levels. It's always different kind of games that you play with the different opposition with different levels, and we wanted to have that variety in that opposition. I think we had a good mix during the pre-season. The lads work really hard in every single game, and their preparation for those games are they mode in every single game, no matter who was the opponent, was brilliant, and those are the standards that we want for the season.
In terms of injuries and people missing, who won't make it for Bristol City this weekend?
Well, I think it's so it has been a summer, obviously, with the pre-season with a little bit ups and downs, but almost the squad is fit. Jack Robinson is back training with us, so he can be ready for the game. So the three players that we are talking that will not participate are Oliver Blaster, obviously a long-term injury, with Tom Davis and Jamie Shackleton picking injuries very early in the season and in the pre-season and not being able to join us.
In terms of Jack Robinson, has he had enough training now to be able to start the game if you select him?
Yes, I think so. He made the last couple of trainings. He has been training hard in the first 3 weeks, so he is not the condition. And I think if I decide for him to be playing or in the squad, he will be happy with that, and he will give us absolutely everything. But yeah, he's ready to go.
Do you feel at the moment, with where the squad is at, that it's capable of competing right at the top end of the Championship?
I think for the short term, yes, we are. For the long term, no, we are not. That's why we need the strength. But we also need a little bit of time for our young, talented players, like the players from the academy, like Louis Marchi or Owen, to continue developing themselves with us, because there's really talented players in the Sheffield United academy, and we love to continue working with them. And I say that is because we still have a job to do in the transfer window. We still need to strengthen our team with those 2-3 players that we already mentioned. But every day that comes, I think our young players are doing even better, and we have big expectations about them.
Clearly, at the moment, in terms of the squad, you look a little light, particularly in defence. Would you have liked to have got more business done at this point before the first game?
Well, I understand that from outside perspective we look light. In my career, especially as a manager in England, I have been in worse scenarios than here and right now. I think we have been playing really powerful opponents, and we have been successful with the players that we have at home, and I don't think we are light. I think that if someone needs to come to this football team, needs to be really good, and I'm not going to accept any average player, so that makes things a little bit more difficult to recruit. That's it. I'm confident in the players that we have in the building, confident that they can do the job, and confident in the performance that we can put together.
Are you still looking at key areas to add into, though? Defence, maybe up front, and others? Are there still, say, 2 or 3 that you would like to get in before the end of the window?
Yes, exactly. That is the agreement with the club and with the owners about how we strengthen the squad. In terms of the back line, we have young, talented players, but they need support, and we will see if we can get the addition that we want in the front line of the pitch.
Have you been told that you'll be able to reinvest some of the money that you've got from Anel, from Vinicius Souza, from Kiefer Moore back into the squad this month, or will it be more, say, frees or loans, etc.?
No, we have been told that we can reinvest part of that money, and that's where we are looking now, because sometimes it's about how do you spend that money, and the last thing that we need is just because in my mind and the way that we work now, we are not replacing player by player. Where we need players that are exciting because of the way that they play football, and that they can give us straight support to this team, and that is not easy. But yeah, they from the board to the CEO, we have this yes about reinvesting part of that money.
Do you feel at the moment, with where the squad is at, that it's capable? What was your favourite goal last season? I imagine fans will say one, but you can take into account circumstances, the actual finish, what have you.
There's 2. I've got 2 in my head. I think my favourite one was the Derby goal the 1-0 at home. Just the feeling from it was nothing I've ever experienced before. But then the playoff final one was a nice feeling too. But we didn't go on to win that game, so I'd definitely say the first home game, the first derby game at home. Yeah.
When you look back now, it was quite the first season, both for you and the club, wasn't it, last year? How do you reflect on what you managed to achieve, both personally and as a team?
For me, it was just, I think it was quite easy to sort of fit into the team style of play, and there's a lot of great people, characters that the squad last season for me, as I've said before, was the best squad I've ever been involved in, and to get going in that and playing and being an important part of that was something that I sort of relished in that competition up front. Me and Kiefer playing together, one of us would play. It's what every player needs, that competition, and I think that helped me go to another level in my game and my career, and I'm just grateful for the opportunity that I got last year, and because previously the season before I was probably injured for most of it, so to take that sort of gamble was good, and I've got a lot of repayment to do to this club. So
obviously Kiefer's departed this week, Rian's also moved on, a couple of loanees as well. Is there a little bit more responsibility on your shoulders this season, do you feel?
Yeah, but I feel personally I don't feel any different to last season. Every team I go into, I feel a responsibility to score and to do well and to help the team win, and I back myself, and I've always done that since I came into the game. So it doesn't really change anything for me, but I just, with them sort of big characters going, it's made me feel a lot more as I've stepped up more as a leader sort of thing. So yeah, that's the only thing that's really changed from my side anyway.
Just a couple of days away now from the first game of the season. How happy are you with where you are at this stage of things?
Yeah, we are happy. We are happy right now what we did in the last few weeks. So we stay, I think, of course, in the process. So in the starting position with many things on the same time. The boys learn quick. We can see we have many talented players, and this shows always talented boys they are very learnable and they can develop quick. So this means we are, I think, on a good way at the moment, and of course we are super excited to jump in the championship right now.
One area you've certainly had to sort of mix and match a little bit has been with wing backs, with the injury to Cam, particularly on the left hand side. You've played in that position in a couple of games. Is that something you're comfortable with in a championship match, given that it's probably not the position he's used to playing?
Yeah, so this is sometimes so. I have, I think, some very deep conversations with you, and I think he feels good in this position. And also, I would say the last few weeks he grew in this position. Also, he showed us in the games good performances. So why not? It looks good in this way.
Absolutely. And in terms of the way the pre-season has gone, anytime a club signs a striker, you want them to hit the ground running, to have a good positive start, and Emil has certainly done that, getting a few goals and giving him confidence going into the campaign.
Yeah, I think already we realized how important he can be for us, and this was the reason why we take him. He has a nose for goals. He knows exactly. Also, when we play forward, he's a player. He can always come with in a good timing in the back of the defender, and so in this way he is very interesting for us.
First game, we talked a little bit about this in the week. It's not going to be perfect because there's still players learning bits and pieces. Are there certain key things that you really want to see your team try and do well?
Yeah, of course, that we have in the end a very compact situation, and this means in on-ball moments, but also when we without the ball. So when we go in pressing moments, that we are on the same page, and also that we have, of course, a high intensity in our on-ball moments also, that we, I think, always a little bit quicker like the opponent. In all directions we should be very fluid, very very clear what we do, and this is something what I like from the boys. When we are outside on the pitch and we take a decision, we do it with 100% conviction and not so half pregnant. This is something what I don't like. So I need boys that are super convinced in this.
So your first game is where the last season ended. You obviously weren't at the club, but a lot of the players were. Have you talked at all about any frustrations they might feel about the way that finished against the opponents you've got on Saturday?
Yeah, we had a little bit conversations in this way, but this was in my first time when I took over the team. Right now it's so much more thinking in the here and now and in the future. I think they realized, so we have a different style of play. Also, we have some new players inside. I think it's not the time to moan about what was in the past. So it's much better to think what can we do on Saturday, and this is of course my big focus. Yeah. Sheffield is one of the teams. They have the pressure to promote, so we know the budget what they have. I think the whole frame in Sheffield looks like a Premier League a team. Yeah, and we know that. On the same time, we have respect, but we will do everything that we can beat them. And in this direction, I will see my boys with a real good mindset, with a mindset of a winner, with a conviction in our principles. Yeah, and then I think this is a kick-off that we know, of course, after the game a little bit more how we are in this time.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Gerhard, just on the injury front, with Joe Williams and Max Bird, are they going to be able to take part of this still a little bit away?
No, they are not involved in the
group have adapted to your style of football and how they've progressed. Is there anything that you feel you've developed in these few months, particularly since you've arrived at Bristol City anywhere? Anything you've learned that you maybe didn't expect?
Yes, of course. It's of course also a little bit a culture topic. Also, how we create a periodization is not the same like in Germany or in Austria. Yeah? So with off days, on which days we create the highest load. So this is a little bit different, but it's absolutely fine. And also, I would say I like when players are very clear in his opinion, and I have with Jason Knight, the captain. He's I think very clear also what he expects, also what he wants, and in this direction I think it's good to see. I have next to me and my coaching team, I have players. They take responsibility, and this is good to see.
One was Rob Atkinson, because the last few weeks have been the first times Bristol City fans have seen him in action for what feels like a really long time. How impressed have you been with him, and what do you think he can bring to that back line?
Very impressed. I'm very, very impressed about him, and a little bit surprised that he is in the end, of course, a monster in aerial duels. Yeah. So he win, of course, I think in the last... Also, I think he's a player. He's also, I think, when we play behind the last line, he can be a player with a very good touch, with a very good feeling to play these balls behind. So yeah, he's someone. He has, he can be a big key for us in the next few months.
Is it going to be a bit different Saturday? How excited are you to have your first proper outing in front of them?
Yeah, I'm very excited about that, to come in touch in a competitive game with the fans. Of course, I can see many friendly faces, many smiling faces. I can also feel, of course, the expectation is high, especially about the last season. To work hard, work smart,